Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital's CYRUS may have just revealed Mason's boss identity, plus a mysterious new relationship emerges. On General Hospital, it was a slower week, with CYRUS having the hottest narrative twist, mostly because he ended up in his own little hell. Half of the chats was spent revisiting what had happened in the various plots, with Sunny and Anna going all the way back to her days as the PCPD commissioner. With the new ghostwriters in charge, there were several perplexing storyline choices that had many wondering, wait, what? Let's take a look at what happened this week in Port Charles. You are exactly where you should be. CYRUS was in his own hell after suffering a heart attack at Pentonville, with Laura acting as his conscience. It was a real Ebenezer Scrooge moment, and if discovering God hadn't already transformed him, his trip to the afterlife appears to have further converted him. It's always been unclear if CYRUS is pretending to have found God, or is genuinely attempting to do better, and this week's turn of events suggests the latter. His talk with Martin about giving away all of his money was entertaining, especially Martin's speculation that he hit his head while suffering a heart attack. The most intriguing event of the week, though, was CYRUS' encounter with Austin. The looks they exchanged, the tension they felt, the words they shared. Austin seemed to recognize CYRUS' name on his folder right away, and it appeared as if CYRUS knew who Austin was, or at least his family. CYRUS told Austin how he was once a man who was virtually wicked incarnate, and questioned if Austin could conceive turning his back on God. It was almost as if CYRUS was speaking not just of himself, but also of Austin, who Mason has indicated hasn't always been a Boy Scout. And when CYRUS wished Austin and his family well, it felt like another hint that CYRUS knows who Austin is. With both CYRUS and Cassandra Pierce involved in the drug trade, I believe Cassandra is the boss lady behind Mason. This would conveniently tie into the Metro Court pool shooting, as if she's interested in pikemen, she might want to take out Sunny, but given their past, she might also want to take out Anna. Perhaps both Sunny and Anna were the intended victims. Ava and Austin's most recent deceased. The discovery of Gordon's body has complicated matters even more for Austin and Ava, as another dead body linked to them was the last thing they needed. Ava chastising Austin for truly sucking at lying to authorities and hiding the truth made me laugh, but as previously stated, Austin has a questionable history with Mason and his family, so one would think he wouldn't be such a clumsy, babbling moron. Where has the ruthless Austin vanished after arriving in town to claim his piece of the Quartermain fortune? At this point, Austin appears to be written more like a reformed Franco. As I mentioned last week, I'm hoping that Sunny being called in to assist them signals that the Mason-Gatlin gang tale is going to turn a corner. Much to the tale with Liz and her parents, which was plainly changed numerous times, it appears like this story with Mason and Austin has been flying without a pilot for much too long. Time Machine. The Ned/Eddie/Neddy narrative is also feeling a little stalled right now, with Eddie eventually arriving at the Quartermain estate after spending much too much time at Sunny's. Eddie's scenes with little Leo have been priceless, as Eastern Rocket Swede shines in his scenes and brings out the seemingly one decent side of Eddie. However, after learning about Olivia's colorful past, Eddie looked a little more fascinated in the lady he had just dubbed the Screeching Shrew. Lois' name was mentioned again when Olivia remembered their adolescent years, offering hope that Lois will ultimately return to town. Her reappearance would actually give this entire plot a sense of purpose. However, with the original writers still on strike, this may not be the best time to bring her on board. This story is also basically floating along right now, with a lot of filler exchanges, which seems to be the case with most of the storylines this week. Hopefully, the new ghostwriters will adjust quickly and be given some direction from the show's higher-ups. It feels so good to be reunited. Laura sending Valentine home to Port Charles was a wonderful move since it brought Vanna back together. Valentine is exactly where he needs to be right now, assisting Anna in determining who would want her dead. I enjoyed Anna's reaction to Valentine admitting that he appeared to be the new Cassadine family head. God help us all. But that's exactly what Valentine has to focus on right now, bringing what's left of his family together and leading them in the right direction. Things appear to be getting nasty for lovebirds Anna and Valentine, with Anna plainly asking Valentine about pikemen in Monday's preview. She is aware that Sunny is associated with them, and she is also aware that Valentine has a business relationship with Sunny. She's clearly put the puzzle pieces together, and it appears that pikemen is gradually infiltrating several of the stories. With so many significant characters engaged, it appears like the drama is setting up an epic final showdown between all sides. Cassandra should be a player here, not just a possible one. She made a lot of enemies in Port Charles, and it appears that many of them are connected to the pikeman organization. Still, it appears that a larger element is lacking, and someone very powerful needs to be identified as the person behind pikemen. Deception that is perplexing. My favorite story right now is The Deceptor, Marty's third ex-wife, and why Tracy cares about any of this. This is why I was perplexed this week by some storyline points that made no sense, implying that the ghostwriters brought in had rearranged things. Why is Brooke Lynn still working at Deception after making it plain she was done with Tracy's scheming? And why is Tracy still acting as though Brooke Lynn is going to keep sending her information on the Deceptor? Tracy couldn't expose her for business espionage without exposing herself, as Brooke Lynn made clear to her granny, a name I love for Tracy because she despises it. Tracy whispered to herself that she already had a method to get what she wanted when she was ordered flatly to find another way. So what gives the impression that all those scenes have been erased? Surrogacy is on hold. I mentioned last week that the surrogacy storyline needed to be slowed down, and it looks that's exactly what's occurring today. After a single talk with Alexis, Molly moved from considering asking Christina to be a surrogate or giving an egg to suddenly not wanting her sister involved in her and TJ's quest. Yes, it was a complete 180 from where this tale appeared to be going, but hey, it works for me. Because of the two new actresses in the roles, I haven't been immersed in this tale from the start, and it has nothing to do with their playing ability and everything to do with introducing a large storyline with two fresh faces. The transition to a greater emphasis on Christina's plotline with the youth center is significantly more interesting, since it places Kate Mansi's Christina in the orbit of other known performers and their characters, such as Sunny, Nina, and yes, even Michael. Christina's talk with Trish, whose brother was kicked out of their house as a teen for being gay, was a terrific addition, even though it seemed to come out of nowhere. The storyline with this center, on the other hand, seemed to come out of nowhere, with the only tie being Christina's bisexuality. There should be more of a character-driven connection to the core than that, and Christina and Molly addressing the Kiefer problem provided it that much-needed push. Family squabbles. Christina is not only on rocky ground with Molly this week, but she and Joss are at odds as well. This was alluded at Willow and Michael's wedding, but hasn't been mentioned since. Naturally, they are at odds over Sunny and Nina, and Christina also has a quarrel with Michael over how he treats Nina. Hey, Michael and Joss have every reason to despise Nina, but it seems like they expect everyone else to as well. Christina is on Nina's side, but even with Nina, she can't keep a foot out of her mouth. On Friday's episode, she advised Nina to give Michael time to acclimatize to her and Willow's newfound friendship. Hey, maybe Michael will soften, and I won't be the only one at your and Dad's wedding, Christina said. Ouch. Finally, in yet another perplexing moment, Esme appears to have become a source of disagreement between Joss and Christina. Christina now has a relationship with Esme, as Esme told Spencer that she likes Christina because she treats her like a human being. Christina then went out of her way to recommend Spencer spend the day in the park with Esme and Ace rather than with Trina, as Joss had suggested. What are you talking about? Was there something missing here? Perhaps a whole previous exchange between Esme and Christina that was cut. Laura Wright of General Hospital explains why she's so excited about Carly's future. Carly on General Hospital has remade herself several times over the last 25 years, and we don't just mean through 4 recasts. Carly Bates has done it all, from physical therapist and would-be nurse to homewrecker to mob wife to Club 101 and Metro Corp maven. Almost. It's no surprise that Laura Wright is excited to see where her character goes next. We've previously seen on broadcast that Carly's destination is quite familiar, dating back to the Spencers' early days in Port Charles. I'm so excited that Carly is now running Kelly's. Wright tweeted on August 2, congratulating her character on her return to her family roots. If we're being precise, the origins would be Ruby Anderson's Florida Bordello. People, it's 2023. Nobody's going to build a cat house in Port Charles. Ruby and Bobby's time behind the Kelly's counter are what fans remember. Wright also praised Norma Connolly's bold and popular chili maker, adding that I remember watching Aunt Ruby run the place, like the rest of us. Will Carly turn Kelly's upper rooms into an Airbnb? Can she run the business as well as Ruby or her late father-in-law Mike Corbin? We'll find out soon enough. After all, unlike the Metro Court, a tiny independent diner lacks support staff. Perhaps she can invite skilled home chef Olivia over to include her pasta on the menu. Is Ruby's famous chili considered a bolognese? Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.